Gordon Holt, a man carved from the same resilient stock as the rugged Appalachian Mountains that surrounded his home, lived a solitary existence. His cabin nestled in the wilderness was a love letter to solitude, a place where only the curious black bears were his frequent visitors. Their presence was never a concern until one fateful afternoon when Gordon encountered a beast unlike any he had ever seen. As the sun marked midday in the clear blue sky, Gordon was relaxing in his backyard, a steaming cup of coffee held tightly in his weathered hands. But the serenity of his quiet mountain afternoon was abruptly shattered by an ominous guttural grumble that resonated in the air, snuffing out the chirping of the birds. Turning around, Gordon was met with the petrifying sight of a monstrous bear standing on its hind legs. This bear was no ordinary mountain dweller. It stood at a staggering 12 feet tall, a colossal beast that seemed ripped from the pages of ancient legends. Its hulking mass radiated an almost palpable sense of malice that was as chilling as the winter winds that whipped through the Appalachians. Gordon's coffee mug slipped from his fingers, shattering into pieces on the ground much like his peace of mind. The sight of the gargantuan creature ignited a primordial fear within him, making him forget his decades-long companionship with the mountains and the creatures within. Without a second's delay, the bear sprang forward, its towering frame moving with an unnatural speed. Panic surged through Gordon, his heart pounding like a wild drum as he raced towards the only refuge in sight, an old rust-ridden RV parked next to his wooden shed. "Sweet mercy," he gasped, scrambling onto the ladder on the side of the RV. He reached the roof just as the bear's thunderous weight rammed into the vehicle, making it sway alarmingly. The beast, not missing a beat, roared and swiped its massive claws at the RV, attempting to scale its sides. Looking down, Gordon was met with the terrifying sight of the bear's bloodshot eyes, the animalistic rage within them matching the frothy snarl exposing deadly teeth. "Back off, you hell spawn," he yelled, desperation leaking into his voice. He wildly swung a loose metal rod, the clanging noise echoing around the quiet yard. But the metallic chorus did little to deter the beast. Its monstrous body almost eclipsed the sun, casting an ominous shadow on the RV. Gordon, trapped on top, felt a terror he'd never known, his breaths coming in ragged pants. But even in the face of peril, the survival instinct within him began to stir. As the beast grappled with the RV, Gordon saw an opportunity. With a prayer whispered to the wind, he slid down the far side of the RV and hit the ground running. His boots pounded the earth in a frantic rhythm, the cabin door his only salvation. Behind him, the beast roared in frustrated rage, its fearsome growls spurring him on. He burst into the cabin, slamming the door shut behind him. He swiftly pushed a heavy cabinet against the door just as the bear crashed into it, its terrifying weight making the cabin shudder. Scrambling to the phone, he dialed 911 with trembling fingers. "I need help," Gordon cried into the receiver, his voice strained with terror. "There's a giant bear trying to break in." The calm voice of the operator promised help, but her assurances were drowned out by the terrifying sounds of the bear battering against his door. Gordon backed away, his hands clutching his old shotgun as he waited for the cavalry. Each minute felt like an eternity as the monstrous bear continued its assault. The cabin door groaned under the beast's weight, the heavy thuds of its body slamming against the barrier a grim metronome counting down to Gordon's potential doom. Just when the door seemed on the verge of giving in, distant sirens echoed through the dense forest. The beast paused, its deafening growls quieting as the sound grew louder. With one final roar that sent a shiver down Gordon's spine, the beast retreated, its massive body disappearing into the wilderness, just as the flashing lights of police cars came into view. As the officers stepped out of their vehicles, they were met with a scene that seemed torn from a horror movie. The deep gouges in the RV, the battered cabin door barely clinging to its hinges, and the earth around the cabin marred by enormous paw prints, were a testament to Gordon's terrifying ordeal. Their disbelief was evident as Gordon recounted his harrowing encounter, the officers exchanging incredulous glances. However, the physical evidence around them corroborated his seemingly unbelievable story. The colossal size of the paw prints was enough to convince them that this was no ordinary bear. In the aftermath of the incident, news of the legendary beast spread like wildfire, bringing a flurry of reporters and curious thrill-seekers to the formerly tranquil Heartlands. Even in the face of such intense scrutiny, Gordon held steadfast, his recounting of the events never wavering. The Beast of Barren Heights, as it came to be known, was a chilling reminder of the inexplicable mysteries lurking within the wilderness. Despite the unsettling encounter, Gordon chose to stay in his beloved mountains, a decision that solidified his status as the man who had faced down the legendary beast and lived to tell the tale. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more true scary stories.